Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. It's now time for Sunday Comics. I'm down here in the basement, kind of in the dark. Let me turn up the light a little bit. And we're continuing the X-Men series, the new X-Men. I figure I'll do this for a while until either, if anybody requests anything, I'll insert another comic in the middle. But right now, I'm kind of having fun revisiting these old X-Men, these old new X-Men. So as normal, I filibuster for a bit until we get some people in here. We got Matt Bauer first. How you doing? How you doing, Matt? Can't wait to see some soaring eagle flying by. Are you going to do that like in a newspaper strip? 3 panels, 4 panels, like Dick Tracy or something like that. That'll be cool. You don't see that much stuff like that anymore. I if you want to put a page in Heroic Tales at the last page or something like that, that'll be fun. Or make it make believe that it's in the newspaper strip that the patriarch's kids are reading. That'll be fun. And here we got Fund My Comic. That's my comic. We got 2 weeks left on the campaign for Fund My Comic. Oh, this is a little off, and that drives me nuts. So get it now while you can. Ben Smar, voice actor. How you doing? Oh, and Renzo I told you Renzo's done with the art. So the art is done. It's being colored and then lettered, and we're ready to go. We're ready to go. Zach Tan, how you doing, Zach Tan? Have a blessed day. Have a blessed day too. Everybody have a blessed day. There's enough blessings to go around. We don't hoard the blessings here. We distribute the blessings fairly. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Keely Chow. How you doing, Keely Chow? Is there an actor or an actress named Keely Chow also? Everybody saying hello to each other. Hail, Marcus. How you doing? Gordon Goodbrother. How you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? How you doing? Cushion Sap. I'm on call this week, and Friday was absolute hell day, which has kind of messed up my weekend plans. One of the few times looking forward to Monday morning. I hear that. I hear that. Pete Rock is here. How you doing, Pete? How's Maisie? How's Maisie? How's Allison? How's everybody? How's everybody? Heroic Tales. There you go. Get it while it's hot. But since I'm on call, I didn't go to church, so I'm here when it's live. Oh, okay. What do you do if you don't mind me asking? 58 Underground. How you doing? How's everything? Hey, Abrax. How you doing? How are you and Lacey? How are you and Lacey? The originals. You guys are like the originals. You've been with me since the beginning. It's good to see you. Good to see you. It makes me feel good to see Abrax and Lacey around. Not, you know what I'm saying. It's just that they've been here for a long time. I have to finish that public eye piece, which I won't post. Oh, okay. Okay. I've been awake since 6. You think I'd be more awake? I pretty much went right to bed after the studio last night. I turned on the TV. It's funny. My foreman got me to watch Gravity Falls. He was like, "You'd really like this. You'd really like it." So I started watching Gravity Falls, and I'm up to the episode where the video game character comes to life and fights. I can't get through it. I turn on the TV. I'm not joking. A minute goes by and I am out cold. I wake up to like 3 episodes later. I keep going back to that episode. That did the same thing last night. I was like, I'm finally going to finish this episode. Can't watch it. But I am enjoying Gravity Falls. Maybe now that I'm wide awake, I'll actually watch it. That's my problems. I always wait till I'm sleepy and then lay down, get in that comfortable chair right by the air conditioning. I'm out. And I got a heavy weighted blanket. Anybody like weighted blankets? I have like a 45-pound blanket. It's the best. I don't care how hot it is. I throw that blanket on me and it's like a force field. I am out to the world. My wife laughs at me. She can't stand it. She can't stand it. It's like having like a big hot dog laying on top of you. And if you ever been out in the cold, I remember going sleeping in the mountains, in a cabin in the mountains, and the owner had this big dog, and it just snuck into my room, and I was like, and the owner of the cabin was like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, that was the best night's sleep I've ever had. The cold air, cold mountain air, and then this big hot dog. Oh, it was okay. Oh, so anyway, I was just saying to Marcus, he's drawn live last night, the public eye, and we're going to use it as an image for the trading card for whenever the story gets around. And I really liked it. So when he said he was drawing, I got confused. I forgot that's what he was drawing last night. Where Abrax says we are good. I'm basically a computer programmer. Okay, cool. Hey, Lacey's here too. How you doing, Lacey? That lighthouse always is very calming. I wonder where that is. Ben Sabar is saying hello, unless it's okay with you. Oh, you can post it. You can post. You know, it's your artwork. If you feel it's a good representation of your artwork, that's fine with you. Or if you want to wait till you're done, that's fine with you too. You know, it's not like it's a secret project. My job's not as exciting as the media. No offense, but I never thought computer programming was exciting. Not to hurt your feelings. Weighted blankets are great. So are leg pillows. Ooh, I sometimes sleep if I had like a hard day work on my feet all day. I'll sleep with the pillow between, so my knees don't. I may be a fat guy thing, but I like when my knees rub against each other when I sleep on my side. I'm a side sleeper, so sometimes I'll put a pillow. Must be Gravity Falls is fun. Must be a Baldwin thing. Allie loves the weighted blanket. Oh yeah, how heavy? How heavy does she like? I want it like as heavy as possible. Oh, thank you. I'll post it when I'm finished. Cool. Yeah, post when you're finished. Yeah. Um for those of you who are like, what Marcus and John having a conversation, we don't know all the details. Marcus is drawing a story of the name of that series is going to be called I Love a Mystery, and it features two characters: Poinsettia, a troubled girl who moves to Science City to get away from her troubles, only to find that new troubles, you know. But she meets the Public Eye, and the Public Eye is blatantly inspired by The Question, Mr. A, Rorschach, all of those Ditko inspired, obsessed detective characters with the fedora and the trench coat. And he may or may not be schizophrenic. He may or may not be seeing visions and things like that. But she kind of, I don't want to say she kind of like, he's sad as it sounds, the Public Eye saves her from a bad incident, let's just say, and she goes to thank him, and he pulls away, and it's the first man that ever withdrew from her touch, and you could read that any way you want. So she's just like, what's his story? And she kind of, he's a mystery to her. Like every guy is always groping poor Poinsettia, you know. Like I said, she has a sad past, and she's just like, you know, is this guy's a gentleman? This guy's a gentleman. Meanwhile, the Public Eye, he has a past, and I don't want to get into it now. So they two damaged people, that fate, whatever, is kind of throwing together. Some confused computer programmer with techno wizard. It means you mean movies and television? Okay, yeah. Doesn't everyone love Miss Tree? Even though I only heard about her, I don't know about everybody, but I love Miss Tree. I love Miss Tree. I think there's a couple of trade paperbacks, and Miss Tree is a full-on detective story, like set in the realest world possible. It's set in the TV world of Dragnet because Miss Tree is the daughter of Joe Friday. Her birth name was Michael Friday. Her father wanted a son, named her Michael, and but because of copyright, trademark, whatever reasons, he couldn't claim that it was Joe Friday's daughter because of the TV show, but it's Joe Friday's daughter. Poinsettia is pretty hot. Yes, Marcus drew a nice image of Poinsettia. What am I doing? I just hit a button, and I don't want to hit a button. You know what? This isn't Public Eye, but Oscar 5 minutes ago just sent me the first colored page of the sleeper agent. So I'm going to show this. Here you go. This is the first page colored for the sleeper agent. That's Jack Carter, the sleeper agent, and that's Sarah Fay, his dream girl, literally his dream girl, on the night of their betrothal. and hijinks ensue. So there you go. Let's make that big. Oh, we got a bunch of people watching. I like Miss Tree, one of my wife's favorites. Oh, cool! Your wife reads comics too. Yeah, I started reading her Miss Tree. I think in DC Quarterly was the first time I saw her. DC actually did like a annual size, like a big size comic, 64 pages, I think it was, of Mystery once every 4 months. And then I backtracked and got all the old Miss Tree stuff. I think it's still coming out as novels. That's what I think. I think Max Collins and Terry Beattie are doing Miss Tree as a novel. Maybe just Max Collins because Terry Beattie's the artist. That was a great illustration. Yeah, it was. Like I said, Luke Stone from Fun My Comic. He's a man of many talents. He's a man of many talents. He plays instruments. He draws. He created Fun My Comic. He's a pastor, and he's an astronaut. He's an underwater space astronaut. There you go. If I'm gonna make up stories, make up a good one. From your last conversation with RJ, the Fourth Age, do you have any of those movie tie-in comics? If you do, would you read some of them on a Sunday comic stream? Oh, okay. I'll make requests. Anybody who wants a request for a Sunday comics, don't put it in this chat. When put it in the comments once the video is done, because I can't find anything in the chat. I have to sit there and watch the whole video again. You know what I mean? So if you have a request, put it on in the comments of a Sunday comics. How's that? I got the original. Yeah, me too. Right over here. Although this is what I'm currently reading right now. I kind of have like a little, like, I'll read like 5 issues of a series, and then I'm like, okay, let's change it up, and then I'll read. So right now I'm reading. This is my next Hulk. I've never read these. These are, I hate to say it, but they're not that good. These early Roy Thomas Hulks. The writing it's just, Hulk at the end of it, he just jumps away and he lands in the middle of an adventure. Like it's just pretty, I hate to say, like, pretty run of the mill meh. I hate that. I can't believe I just said meh. All right, so let's go. We got a bunch of people here. Let's check out Marvel Comics. All new, all different X-Men. This point forward, I will do the comic. Go to the chat. Comic chat. Okay, so this is Rich Buckler and Dave Cockrum, X-Men 97, 25 cents. Look. I always hated the way Banshee was drawn with just, I don't know. But we got Colossus looking mean. That Nightcrawler, I don't know. That Nightcrawler is just eerie. It's just eerie. I really like it. Now, at this point, I'm not sure if Nightcrawler was supposed to be blue. At this point, there was a problem, like when you colored somebody black. You see how there's no details? You see how there's just absolutely no details? Like, you have to put white in here. But Havoc is all black. He just looks like a silhouette. So what they did was they made blue. Later on, I'm not 100% sure that Nightcrawler is supposed to be blue right now. I think he's supposed to be black, but they shade him blue just so we could see the details. Otherwise, he's just going to look like a silhouette. They did the same thing with Black Panther. That's why he was always blue for a long time. That's why Superman had the blue hair. And Cyclops has blue costume. You could tell because it's mostly blue, but I'm not sure. Like, look at the Nightcrawler over here. There's really no detailing. So I don't know. Maybe at this point he was blue. I don't know. But this is Rich Buckler. Rich Buckler is an interesting guy because he is known as a chameleon. He could, like, ape anybody's style. He has what I like his style. I call his style like just basic comic book art. Like when he's just drawing for, under his own name. But this is him inked by Dave Cockrum. I don't know why Rich Buckler's doing the cover. All I could think of is there must have been like a time constraint, or maybe Rich Buckler. I think Rich Buckler was also very fast. But there we go. So enough nonsense. Let's actually open the comic. You could now fly a plane the first time you try. Cool. There you go. Sure flies with automatic pilot. My brother, my enemy. So here we got a nice splash page. Splash page. That came out weird. Splash page. And let's look at the credits over here. We got Chris Claremont, writer. So Chris Claremont already is in the X. So Len Wein, funny how my memory plays tricks on me. I thought Len Wein lasted a little bit longer. I thought Chris Claremont came a little bit later. But Chris Claremont's already writing. Dave Cockrum, artist. Sam Granger is the inker. Annette K, letterer. That's, as far as my memory goes, that's the first time I recall Annette K. And Don Warfield, colorist, and Marv Wolfman, editor. So we got ourselves a nice splash page over here. And check this out. We got Xavier screaming and yelling. This is all his dreams. And what is he dreaming about? These bug ships. Dare I say it? Dare I say what I'm thinking? You know, bug spaceships. No, please, let me be. Well, let's get out of my mind. Check that out. Check that out. Just great space stuff. I have to say now, we have giant sized, 94, 95, 96, 97. So we have 5 months into the X-Men, and it's just awesome superhero action. So far, it's not, whoa, he's me, I'm a mutant. Oh, I've been ignoring the chat. Gordon Goodbrother says, that Nightcrawler calling is how people got confused with Byrne's Fantastic Four uniforms. They're meant to be black and white, not blue and white, like you see in the action figures, fan art, and cartoons. Yes, yeah, the John Byrne negative zone inverted cup. Yes, good point. Yes, you're right. Beast, Mystique, Nightcrawler, the 3 fuzzy blue mutants. Yes. And Beast in Amazing Adventures 15, his first appearance as the Beast, he was black, but he looked like a smudge, so they gave him blue highlights, and then later they said he turned blue. I'm a strident fan of the freakish cat face Storm. Oh, okay. That's Annette Kawecki. Claremont had a plot in Giant Size X-Men 1. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Claremont had a hand. Oh, okay. I'm glad to see that I'm not the only one filled with typos. Charles Xavier finds himself drawn out into the infinite, drawn out into the nightmare, drawn into hell. So now we're getting the Chris Claremont purple prose over here. I always liked the design of the ship, but I like how it's attached up here, and then it's attached down here. Like you can see a side profile of it, but it always made me wonder, like the logistics of the ship. Like if in a space battle, would you target this area? Break the ship in two, but whatever. We got solar prominences, bug ships fighting these whatever more sleek crafts. What's going on? It draws him close, tantalizing close. As try as he might, Xavier cannot resist the dream that his body and soul, and it will be released when it wants, not before. So he's trapped in this dream, and he's witnessing this space battle. And we got Slim Jims. We got this Thor, obvious swipe of Thor that always drove me nuts. Son of Origins. These are the Simon and Schuster hardcovers that Stan and Jack were so proud of. I always say this: Stan, late in life, accepted the comic books were legit, but at this point, I think Stan was always still a little embarrassed that he worked in comic books. Remember, this is only 20 years away from that 10-cent plague and the, what's his name, Seduction of the Innocent, and the congressional hearings that really destroyed the reputation of comics. So you got to give him a little bit of, like, he's working in an industry that has a low reputation. So getting hardcover editions in bookstores was a step towards legitimacy to Stan. So he was very proud of these. I always remember him hawking these. Space Hell, Free Karate. Does it say free karate? Oh yeah, free karate. I didn't even notice that. You got to make those spaceships aerodynamic. Yeah, space dynamics. That's really important. So now we got so this bug-eyed ship. I always love these bug-eyed spaceships. Xavier's dream ends. No, you know, ironic, isn't it, Xavier? You pride yourself on being the strongest man, but your dream tears you apart. So he's waking up. This is pretty cool. He's grabbing a bar out of here and pulling himself out of bed into the wheelchair. I just like touches like that. You know, a little bit of like logical thinking. You know what I mean? I'm sure Chris Claremont put that in the script, or did Dave Cockrum think of that? I don't know, but I love how, you know, because you imagine Xavier, he's got to be working out. You know, he leads the X-Men. He understands, like, you know, he himself gets into battles and brawls and fracases and whatever. So, you know, he's always working. And here we got Myra McTaggart. You know, here, give me the coffee pot afore ye burn yourself. I love the way. Thank you, Maura. I had a dream even stronger than. There's such power behind it, Maura. Such incredible power. Charles, you're talking too much. You're taking too much of this yourself. You got to open up, Scott and the others, afore ye. How do I tell them I'm going mad? It's never as bad. You asked for help and I came. I have no right to ask. Don't be silly. What else are friends for? So, is Myra like, you know, she became later on. I mean, she's this probability altering mutant. She's kind of the inspiration for Mary Sue, what they did to her later on. One of Mary Sue, Myra McTaggart, Scarlet Witch. But at this point, is she just an Irish maid? Is she the mutant? You know what I mean? Like, is Chris Claremont planning everything, all the wheels of motion? I don't know. But I do like to do that now. You know, going back with the knowledge from the future. Like, at one point did they plan this? Like, I always bring up Star Wars. It's just, they just made that up as they went along. You know what I mean? Each movie was just made, and then Lucas made the next movie and then, you know, and then the next, and okay, yeah. Oh, now C-3PO was made by Vader. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't planned. It was just slapped together. You know, I would excuse it if it was written by a committee of 30 people, but Lucas wrote the first 6 Star Wars movies, and they're just disjointed, slapped together messes, and we still love them. You know, I at least the first 3, the only Star Wars movies that exist. I don't know why I just referenced these, not imaginary prequels. So now we got this beautiful little New Mexico. I love that in Marvel Comics, centered in Manhattan. Whenever they need someplace far away and exotic and like rustic and out of the way and close to supernaturally, you know, quaint, they always pick New Mexico. And having lived in New Mexico, I lived in Albuquerque. It was kind of dirty and grimy, but I will say there are small towns out in the middle of New Mexico that are exactly this. You know, just stay away from Albuquerque, stay away from Santa Fe. You know, if you want quiet, be left alone, and then once in a while extreme violence, move to New Mexico. So here we got Alex Summers, Cyclops' brother, Havok, and Lorna Dane, Polaris, who I forget now. Is she still the daughter of Magneto? Is that a lie? Did they change it? I forget. You can't keep track of all this stuff. So he's going out and being a cowboy. She's being trad wife over here, just cleaning up the buttermilk pancakes, and knock at the door, and we get Killing Joked right here. She just opens up the door and blasted right in the old womb. Look at that. She's just laying on the ground, and then we see the shadow over here of somebody with horns. And I think the shadow is supposed to make us think it's Magneto. The shadow is Magneto. You know, that's what they're trying to tell us. And let's check out the comments. Zach Tan, weird how modern Marvel is actually trying to corrupt their young. Yeah, I agree. That bar is a bit of good logistic. Yeah, I like touches like that. Xavier would have great upper body strength. Yeah, right? I mean, he's basically leading a paramilitary force, that he himself is a soldier in at times. And he's always harping, you got to learn how to fight in case your powers go away. So it makes sense. Wasn't she a scientist with a troubled mutant child? Yes. Her child was Proteus. I hope to come up to that. That's some of my favorite comics. So, yeah, but not at this point. That's what I'm wondering. At this point, is she just an Irish maid? I don't know. So I'm checking out all the dialogue to see if there's hints thrown in. I think Dave Cockrum used the exact same ship design in Legion of Superheroes. Yes, I think he did. I love Dave Cockrum's designs. So continued after the next page, we got an Atlas body in only 7 days. 7 days. Dynamic tension will give you that body 7 days. You don't even have to do anything. You just get the body. Be taller. So just check all this stuff out, right? Get free comic books, stamps, this body, be taller, and $1 million. Oh my God. We had it all right here and we squandered it. We could have been tall, muscular millionaires with stamps if only we paid attention to the ads back then. I know I didn't. I missed out. And then we got Big Jim's pack. These are Jack Kirby. This is Jack Kirby drawings. I don't think it's inked by Kirby, but these are Jack Kirby design. And these were, like I said, at this point, G.I. Joe was a military toy. They were like maybe a foot tall, I think, fuzzy hair, plastic held together by an elastic band. But things were changing. They were kind of morphing into like specialized, like they were just like regular military groups, and then they became like special services, and now like they're kind of morphing into almost superheroes. Like this guy's got a metal hand, he's the world's greatest archer, whip expert, because that's what you need in the military, is a guy who could really handle a bullwhip. And then we got the regular military guy, Big Jim. New Mexico is just a myth. Yeah, far away beyond the mists of Hyboria is this land of New Mexico. Pour your own coffee, Charles. I got to get back to my island. Big Jim's pack are killers. Nothing can stop the smashing assault of Big Jim's. Oh, professional agents, crime killers. Good eye there, Gordon. You got crime over here? We'll kill it. We ain't no bleeding heart liberals. We will kill your crime. We will kill your crime dead. There you go. I missed that. I missed it. So we got Havoc over here with this surprisingly high-tech gun. Comes back. No need to shout. I'm well. What's going on? We just saw her shot in the womb, and boom. I don't know. I love the special effects. One of the things I really, really like, and I want to try and do, is like the special effects of each superhero is unique. Like they have a unique energy signature. So I really like the Polaris. They give her like these like semi-realistic waves of magnetic field. My costume is mine, Alex Summers, as the power's mine. The power of Polaris, mistress of magnetism. The power of death. You did not kill him, child. Good. The youth will be useful to us when we seek our prime objective, when we seek the death of Charles Xavier. And we got this metallic-looking leg. First clue that it's not Magneto. We got airports over here. 5 friends going on vacation. Yes, Gina, I will properly write. I'll probably and always be on the lookout for great white sharks. Is there anything else? I think I get the message. What happened to Banshee and Wolverine? Banshee is spending the afternoon with Miss McTaggart. I believe Wolverine was feeling unsociable. So Banshee is macking. Remember, we had the lecture about macking. Macking or snaking. Snaking is when you're hitting on the girl you shouldn't be hitting on. You know what I mean? Like you're hitting on your buddy's girl, or you're hitting on your buddy's wife, or you're just hitting on somebody that's already been claimed by somebody else. That's snaking, like when you're moving in on somebody. But macking is fair game. So is that now this is a philosophical debate. Is Banshee Mackin or Snakin? Because is Mara here for Charles romantically? I know she's here to help him, and is Charles a little? So I don't know. Is Banshee a Mac or a snake? I don't know at this point. I guess it takes all kinds. Banshee and McTaggart. Interesting. Have a good trip, sir. Thank you, Scott. I'll certainly try. So we got is that, who the hell is that? Who is that? So we got Scott Summers, we got Storm, we got Jean Grey. Oh, I know who that is. I'll keep it for a second. Gene, I forgot. Please tell Nightcrawler that Tony Stark's image inducer is not a toy. Tell him to make look obtrusive, not like some 1930s movie. So this is Nightcrawler looking like Errol Flynn. So this is like the first time we're getting a little hint into Nightcrawler's personality, the swashbuckling, with the sword fighting rapier. So this is that's why I got confused. So this is Nightcrawler using an illusion casting device to look like Errol Flynn. Look there, my friend. Are those not magnificent legs? I do not know. The girls in the Ertz or Desky Collective did not wear such short skirts. So here's Nightcrawler just ogling the chicks. Colossus. Now remember, Colossus is at this point, he's the youngest Avenger. He's the youngest X-Man. They said Storm was a teenager, but I think Storm was like 18, 19. I think Colossus is like 17, 18 at this point. Nightcrawler is a little older. Wolverine, we don't know anything about Wolverine at this point, but we all know that he's over 100. And Banshee is like in his 40s, I think. What would you say Xavier is at this point? Like late 30s? And Jean Grey is probably early 20s at this point. Havoc, why are you in Laura in costume? Scott, what's wrong? I'm getting images since it's a trap. And she didn't even turn into Admiral Akbar when she said it. And there's Laura. I almost said Lorna. Dude, Lorna Dane in this purple costume. Fool, you just signed your own death warrant. So it's interesting. I think Marcus told me that she had green hair just because they already had a blonde hair character, a redhead character, and they just gave her green hair just to make her distinctive. So there you go. So that's the reason why she has green hair. And she Zarax. Jean Grey, right in the boobs. Right in the boobs. There you go. So I'm saying one of them called the Whip. Yep. It's just a flesh wound. That's a lot of text. Well, that's Chris Claremont for you. Snaking, we called it scamming. Good to know. Fatty, but it pops with the beats. No, is Nightcrawler already a skilled fencer, or did that come later? See, I don't know. At this point, all of these characters are blank slates that are being filled in. And I know we had this discussion before, but like there's a difference between retcon and filling in the details. If you're a blank slate, you could add the past. That doesn't bother me. Like the big example I always give is Obsidian, who was the son and brother. He was the son of Alan Scott in the 80s and 90s. He had the darkness powers, and he was the twin brother of Jade, who had the Green Lantern powers. He didn't really have a past. All we knew about him was he was shy and awkward around girls. And then later on, they introduced that he was gay. It made sense because it wasn't like they changed a ladies' man or somebody who actively pursued women like Bobby Drake, actively and heartbreakingly and angrily, all because in his first appearance, he was 15 years old and, didn't know how to deal with girls. So, girl, big deal. Oh, he must be gay. Yeah, well, they forget the next 30 years he was him and Beast were going out and hanging out in the beatnik bars. What was his girlfriend's name? Irma was the Beast's girlfriend. I forget what Bobby's girlfriend's name is. Storm and Colossus being young, they always had older sibling energy to me. Yeah, they were drawn older, but that's why when they introduced Kitty Pryde, she's 14. Colossus is like 18. Yeah, that's a little creepy, but it's not as bad. It's just that Colossus is like 6'4". He's a huge guy. And then, but I mean, 14 and 18 is bad, right? That's why Colossus resisted her for so long. Even as a teenager, Storm had a whole tribe of figures, so she would be arrogant. Yes, she was worshipped as a goddess. She raised herself. She grew up in Cairo and then moved down to Kenya, and and had to grow up fast. She didn't have the luxury of being mollycoddled. How's that? Mollycoddled. Good morning, Omni-Pro. He didn't sword fight until his miniseries in 1985. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to do this in order. We'll put as they pop out. You guys keep me informed if I miss anything. Like this is the first time I see him, Errol Flynn. So I think that's the direction that Chris Claremont is making for him. We got Powerful Muscles free. You want free muscles? Play guitar at 7 days. Oh my God. Think about this. If we followed every ad, we'd be a millionaire. We'd be tall. We have twice as much free muscles and playing the guitar. Oh my God. We would be irresistible. And then we could get mini bikes. We could shoot animals. Oh man. Free comics. Become a private investigator. Oh my God. I keep joking around that I want to make like a humor comic about a kid who just fills out all the ads in comic books and just gets everything. The secret of teaching yourself guitar. Look at this guy. Look at him. He's a nice young fella that, you want your daughter to date. This guy's not going to take advantage of your daughter. He's got respect. He's got respect. Singing at the jamboree. Mollycoddle is a fun word. Hey, Stippling, Obsidian was in foster care with a very few foster. He was really after. Yeah. I like that character. And is he still around in modern DC? I'll never understand the wisdom of getting rid of DC's first openly gay, beloved, accepted superhero, erasing him from existence, and then making his father the gay one. It just makes no sense. Unless there was some Phoenix Saga Shi'ar fighting action. I don't know. I don't claim to have like a total recall. Who's selling kids' knives? This is a switchblade comb. A switchblade comb. How cool is that, man? How cool is that? Storm was regal without falling into the modern slave queen stereotype. Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you get that hair too? Yeah. All you need is some Prel and some conditioner. There you go. Prel and conditioner, and boom, you get the Jim Starlin 70s hairstyle. Did Marvel put cigarette ads in their comics? No, there was no cigarette ads that I could recall. Fathers, don't let that John Denver vibe blow you into a false sense of security. His father was gay too, not even bi. How did that work? No. If you talk about Alan Scott, he was married to the original Harley Quinn, the 40s Harley Quinn, and they had babies, and he was a little kinky. They were going to be doing some lovey-doveys, and he made a green construct, a big sphere, and floated them in the space and did some lovey-doveys in the space, and their kids are now Jade and Obsidian. Yes, it's a comb. Well, she was written out by gay guys then. Yep, there we go. Let's turn the page. Even though that guy's so dreamy. I miss him already. Have you gone crazy, Lorna? What are you doing? Look at the glasses by Scott. You could see the Neil Adams influence. It's funny because when I got into comic, my first X-Men comic is I think 114. So I'm a little bit away. So these are all comics that I bought years later. So when I got fully into the X-Men, or the John Byrne, Chris Claremont, Terry Austin years, and then I went back and started looking at these. I'm like, this guy's like aping John Byrne, even though this came first. But I didn't realize they were all aping Neil Adams. I didn't even know who Neil Adams was, when I first got into the X-Men. Neil Adams was like, legendary before my time. I'm trying to think what was Neil Adams doing at this time. He was working for DC, I think, at this time and I was not interested in DC. So now we got Havoc is being crazy. Look at that nose over here. Oh God. And unfortunate. Look at that guy. Oh, we got airplanes being attacked. We got the X-Men in the civilian clothes. And what we got? We got Nightcrawler turns off the image inducer, and he's got his costume on. Now, I'm curious. This image inducer, is it like psionic? Do people see it? Do you need, like, in the airport scanners, are they seeing, like, they're looking, they see what's his name? Errol Flynn, and then they look at the scanner and they see the devil. You know what I mean? So I assume that the image inducer is also picked up by surveillance equipment. And then Colossus turns into Colossus. You know what's going on? Nightcrawler, look, Havoc is about to fire. So Havoc is going to be blowing up airplanes. And we got Nightcrawler just so long. Nightcrawler is not so long as Nightcrawler is alive to stop. I'll have to point this out. I just read this Hulk comic. Like I said, I've been up since 6 this morning. And that's also Nightcrawler. That's, so this Nightcrawler was before that Nightcrawler. One shot, one appeared. So boom, airplane blows up. Now, people got to be dead. Jesus, that could have been us. People have got to be dead. Unless I'm missing that they specifically said that this was an empty airplane. But here is the plane that's taken off. And this airplane is blowing up. So I'm just curious that it's got to say that, because they always say that, thank God it was empty. Thank God it was just idling on the runway, and then the poor worker who's cleaning is the guy that's dead. I think it's a hologram projector. That 1814 wasn't quite as sensitive. Yeah, yes. That's actually pretty tame by these standards in comic books. In Bird's first portfolio, admits to starting out trying to be an Adams clone, but obviously he went his own way quickly. Yes. See, I didn't know that at the time. No fatalities as we see parachutes. Well, this is on the runway. It didn't take off yet. Dave Cockrum was a fan of Errol Flynn movies, Robin Hood, Captain Blood, so that's where Nightcrawler swashbuckler. Oh, okay, yeah, because Dave Cockrum was his favorite was Nightcrawler. I think people could have been more anxious about the X-Men going into space than being mutants. True. Like the Fantastic Four having rocket ships in their building in the middle of Manhattan. And Alan Davis, yes. Let's check out the next page. We got a reaction shot over here. Okay. I didn't realize how anxious I was. I was getting all nervous about this. Just as the X-Men are thankful that the 747 was undergoing routine maintenance and it was empty of passengers and crew. Whew. I was actually getting nervous about the imaginary people dying. Alex Summers, if you completely lost, what in heaven's name do you think you do? Scott is following my orders. Who? You're Eric the Red. But you can't be Eric the Red. I was Eric the Red. It matters not who I am, mutant. I am power incarnate, and nothing that lives can stand against me. Anyone remember Sykes' epic portrayal from X-Men 51 and 52? Do you guys remember that? Mister, I don't even know what that masquerade is all about, but if you think you can beat the X-Men, you got another thing coming. And anytime anybody says you got another thing coming, you got to point like Rob Halpert from Judas Priest, and then the guy explodes and then their pants fall down. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? You got another thing coming. Boom. And then the pants fall down. No, Cyclops, you will not take me. All you will do is die. Which begs the question: why did he hypnotize Lorna Dane and Havoc when he has this much power? But that's comic book plot for you. The battle is going against us. I must get Jean Grey out of harm's way and return her to the X-Men quickly before there's no one left alive to help. The gods be praised that neither Havoc nor Lorna Dane can fly. It's really interesting that the men have superhero names and the women have regular names. Lorna Dane, they're not called her Polaris. Jean Grey, she's not Marvel Girl because she's Marvel Girl at this point. She's not Phoenix yet, So the Iban witch thinks herself safe up in the sky. True. She may be safe from Lorna Dane, but not from Polaris. You cannot escape me, Storm. My magnetic powers could negate the gravimetric lines of force as easily as they did for me as they did for Krakoa. In other words, the lady can fly. So here she's manipulating magnetics. This just looks like an overly complicated costume, and it also looks like a costume designed for the Legion of Superheroes. And here she is attacking Storm. Storm, the wind too cocky, can't concentrate enough to get to Jean, and the ground's too close. I must get to her. If I don't, she'll die. I only have one chance. I've got to make it. I've got to. Now, this is pretty interesting because the background here is all fire and smoke. Over here, we got nice blue sky. It's purple. Explosions and energy. Blue sky, and now it's red. Just pointing that out, that the colorist is aware of that too much of the same color on a page makes everything kind of mushed together. It's something I'm trying to learn. Like Oscar is a great colorist. So I don't think I've ever told him to change the background of the color, but I did ask Daniel to change the background colors, most notably in that first page of the Patriarch, where where Patriarch and his wife are in bed together. At first, it was just too dark and just overwhelmingly purple, and then I was like, it was supposed to be dawn, and he recolored it, and it looks so good. Eric the Red. No, Mr. Summers, I expect you to die. Is Storm her civilian name? No, her civilian name is Oro Monroe. Or Oro Monroe, which Monroe always made me pull back a little bit. It just doesn't fit. Or Oro Monroe, I think her father was American and her mother was African from Africa. Star-crossed lovers. Polaris does look like she was meant to be Vertigo girl. She does. Yeah. She's designed like a Legion of Superheroes. Okay. I should do some Legion of Superheroes. Oh yeah. Made it. So Storm whips by, grabs Jean by the arm, and that just looks painful. That just looks painful. Now, it's been so long since I read this. I don't remember. See, I don't read these before doing these. I go from memory because I kind of like being surprised. But she yanks her. Now she's carrying around like a rag doll. And now, I deal with this I shall. Only this time, she will not be facing Oro. This time, she will be facing Storm. Boom! And Storm has the ability to create her costume. And wow, did I hate when they explained that in the Marvel universe. She supercharges the electron, blah, blah. No, she could do it. She could do it. So Storm, whatever, lightning and her costume, they all got unstable molecules from the Fantastic Four, and they react to the use of powers. Colossus transforms, Nightcrawler has the image inducer. I hate when they do a pseudo-scientific explanation. It just happens. Let's go, Scott, before something. No, wait. I got some answers. Not till I find out why. You turned on us, brother. Why? Kill it. I had to. It was Eric, my mind. Scotty, he did something to my mind. Fight it, Alex. You can break free. I'm trying. And energy's building up. It's no good. Alex can't break free of Eric's control. I've got to hit him hard, keep him off balance. I don't want to hurt him, but if you cut loose at me with full strength, I've had it. So at this point, either they're not immune to each other's powers, or they don't know they're immune to each other's powers, right? Because Cyclops and Havoc absorb each other's blasts because they're brothers. It's like the same energy force changed by their unique whatever, but it's been established later on that they can't hurt each other. Now, is this because Chris Claremont didn't think of it yet, or they didn't have reason to understand it yet? Which is interesting, because now I want to go back to the old X-Men and see if they ever fought each other and hurt each other. So we got Bruce Canwell, Steve Powitz, Tom Runningmouth, that's an interesting name, and the Value Stamp. Every once in a while, I'll buy a back issue and I'll have this cut out, and it just drives me nuts. So, I got a super chat. We got KJY, $10. Thank you. If a movie follows the comic, and if the movie failed and woke it, someone should make and create an anti-hero, like similar to Deadpool that killed Ryan Reynolds being Green Lantern kind. I don't quite follow. If the movie, if they're making a comic that followed the movie and the movie failed, someone should make a comic and create. Okay, I think I get what you're saying. So if they made a comic book from a movie and the movie stunk, they should make a story, kill it off. Yeah, okay, that would be kind of funny. Okay, it took me a bit to understand what you're saying. I think that's what you're saying. Neil Adams designed both Havoc and Polaris. I didn't know Storm could supercharge or do anything to her clothes. Yeah, I don't know if she could still do it, but this was something she did all the time back then. She just, you know, I imagine she must have a budget for either that's just part of her mutant power, or it's just they unstable molecules, so they have like a line of credit extended to Fantastic Four Incorporated. How did Havoc have a previous look? This is Havoc's original costume, as far as I know. As far as that, Marcus, did he have a earlier costume? Didn't like Havoc until he did that miniseries with Wolverine. He kind of was a bland, you know. He didn't really have a personality. Tom running ing running mouth. I still love Mohawk Storm. I liked it. Made sense to me what they did, being that she has all these Earth powers, and when she was in space for such a prolonged period, it affected her psyche, you know. But I understand it. It was good character growth, but this is Storm to me. This is always Storm to me. Wonder Storm woman. So bam, yeah, running mouth. Tom Running Mouth. After reading Giant Size X-Men 1, I'm proud to see one of my people, an American Indian, America's first citizens, become a member. But to my dissatisfaction at X-Men 94, you started to oppress him. You can't win, guys. Thank you for having an Indian character. Now you're oppressing him. The story and art were good, but I was angry to see Thunderbird treated harshly. And the clincher was in X-Men 95, you killed him. Why was he chosen? Why Thunderbird? You can't win. You can't win. Can't please liberals. Law and Order Frontier Style. Get some old gunfighter books here. My friend Mike, I think, got these. I think my friend Mike got these. He was like, as a kid, he was, we all watch Westerns, but I think he was really into drafting kits. Look at this jerk over here. Sent to U.S. Comp. Sell grit. Sell grit. Maybe they should be a mutant whose powers to instantly change other people's clothes. In DC, isn't it Gypsy Moth? She could control clothes. She has like moth costume, and then she could control fabrics. That's how we got. Yeah, don't do that. That's how we get the Hellfire Gala. Thunderbird was chosen because he was awesome. I agree. I like Thunderbird. I really like Thunderbird. Oh, we got 2 pages of ads. Did I skip a page? Yes, I did skip a page. Okay. Such problem Cyclops has. The problem, Cyclops, is that Havoc has no such qualms about hurting you. So, look at this. He's got so much energy. He's glowing, and I love these circles and everything. My God, that wall, it's falling right for Scott. I'm sorry, I didn't know what to do. Thank God he's alive. Scott, hold on. I'll get you out of here. And he just punches him. Now, okay. He blasts the wall that was about to land on Cyclops, but his mind is frazzle dazzled. So the debris lands on Cyclops, and then Cyclops gives him a haymaker over here. So we got Nightcrawler on Eric the Red. Mutant Vermin, you cannot hope to defeat me. Perhaps not, but at least I'll try. You'll try nothing, Elf. And then he throws Nightcrawler. And just before he hits Colossus, he bamps. And he lands over here looking cool and gets back on Eric the Red. Now, of course, Dave Cockrum loves Nightcrawler, so Nightcrawler's getting a lot of action over here. Colossus is punching Eric the Red right over here. Just give him a haymaker. Notice Colossus didn't say anything. He doesn't have any dialogue. Okay, here's his first line of dialogue. What about my blows, Horned One? And Nightcrawler is just getting punched. He's getting punched right in the gut. Gut punch. Is Colossus nothing? Yes! Eric the Red just punches Colossus into the airplane, knocks out the wheel. Notice Wolverine's not in this comic. I don't think Chris Claremont particularly liked Wolverine at this point. I know Dave Cockrum didn't like Wolverine. He's not even in this comic. He's not in this issue. Neither is Banshee. We got nunchucks, X-ray specs. Check out girls' clothes. Right through. See them right in their granny panties. Right. Check out their bloomers. It took me 5 days to lose 3 inches off my waistline. I saw muscles and shaping up right away. A lot of exercise ads. Peter, are you all right, Peter? By all that's holy, Horned One, if you killed him, do not worry yourself, friend. Kurt, Colossus is far from dead. Colossus is coming out. And what does he do? He throws the freaking tire at him. Just boom. And then we got, I like this little, literally an electromagnetic battle. You know, we got Storm firing lightning and Havoc over here using magnetics, just canceling each other out. I don't know why. That I just really dig that, this panel right here. They're too evenly matched, Storm. I guess we'll have to call this game a draw. A game? Is that all this is to you? A game? You attacked us without warning, without provocation. You sought our deaths without a thought for the innocents who might have been endangered, even slain by attack. And you dare call it a game? This is no game, Polaris. So she just amps up the power. Look at that. Kirby crackle all over here. I love this foreshortened hand. And boom, lightning just overwhelms her. Takes out Lorna. Look at that face. So well drawn. Curse you, Cyclops. If Lorna's been hurt, I'll kill you, brother. I'll kill you. So he's directly blasted Cyclops. So let's see what happens on the next page. I forget if, oh man, did I just get hungry all of a sudden? I forget if they've established that they're immune to each other's powers. We got Henry Jarmak. Neil Adams did design Havoc. Don Heck, Jim Steranko designed Polaris, issue 4950. Neil Adams started his X-Men run 56. Okay, cool. Thank you. Vermin. Damn. Thunderbird is one of those folks, superhero setting that never gets resurrected. No, he died, but then they brought his name was John Proudstar, and then they brought James Proudstar, and they called him Warpath. So yeah, Thunderbird, as far as I know, is still dead. He came back as his brother Warpath. No worries, bro. Not attacking you personally. I'd want to know myself. I don't think Marcus feels attacked. The New York ad agencies thought everyone who read Super Comics wanted to. They did at that point. At that point, they did. Now everybody reads comic books, just wants to sit around and play video games. What do we got here? I can't interpret emojis. Hey, R.J. Williams. He's got Call Sign Orion. Check out Call Sign Orion. Also drawn by Luke Stone. Hail, R.J. John, is there an issue of the series that is seared into my memory? Yes, the John Byrne ones. Once we get to like issue 112 and up, man, I could recite them. I could recite them. I read them over and over and over again. You know, those I bought monthly every month. And if you were like me back then, you just reread your comics. You were done reading them. You talked about them with your friends. You were excited about them. Then you went and reread them again. And then over the years, oh, I got the whole story. I reread them. But these I bought later on. You know, I'm talking, I probably got these in the past 20 years. So I didn't read these as a kid. Hey, Luniverse. Hello. It's been a while. Been camping, so no Indian. Oh, that's good. Out in the real world. Cool. You hungry, John? Don't you have a stash of Reese's peanut butter cups? What kind of comic book nerd are you? I'm a comic book nerd with the pizza, Twinkies, burritos. I got a bunch of food right over here. I can lean over and touch the refrigerator. So let's see now. Twinkies. Look, Aunt May's attacked by these goons over here. Spider-Man and the Kidnap Caper. So they kidnap Aunt May and they bring her to like this hillbilly shack in the middle of like Brooklyn, and he pays the ransom in Twinkies. There you go. Twinkies is so good. I'd kidnap an old lady for Twinkies, wouldn't you? I'd kidnap an old lady for Twinkies. We got Howard the Duck. We got Omega the Unknown. What is it? No food near the comics in this house. It hasn't changed much. It's just now on TikTok that everybody's telling you how you get fit in a few days with their special workout. Yep. That's true. John, that is a great observation about Polaris. It does look like a Legion of Superheroes style costume, something like Shrinking Violet or Princess Projector. Good call. Thank you. Thank you. You have pizza and Twinkies conveniently off screen. All right. All right. I'm being called out. I'm being called out. Twinkies, pizza, burritos. What do you want me to say? The depths of my disgustingness, my gluttony, know no bounds. Maybe water at a distance. I got a water cooler over there, but it's dirty. I got to clean it. Maybe that's today's project. So silly. I like Twinkies when I was a kid. I like Twinkies now as an adult, and nothing can stop me from buying a box of Twinkies whenever I feel like it, and I feel like it a lot. So Cyclops is taken out. So, he got blasted. Was he surprised? So later on, their being immune is something that's added in later, because obviously he's not immune to his blast or absorbs his blast. There's fear in Alex Summer, a fear that claws deep into his heart and goads him to strike out against his brother and his friends. Such a simple thing. He loves Lorna Dane, and for that love he would lie, kill, cheat, and steal. And here comes X-Men hover jet reinforcements. Zarya summoned him with his cursed mental powers. That's Eric the Red talking. Havoc, Polaris, to me, my children, quickly. The day has turned against us. Eric the Red is anything but a fool. Havoc, stop. And he flies. Stop or I'll fire. I mean it. Alex, I'll cut you down. I'll what are you doing, boss? You could have got the blast. They're getting away. So now Wolverine shows up with Banshee. That cuts it, bub. Those clowns try to stomp us, and you just stand there and watch them fly. What's the matter? You got gutless or something? Shut up. Boom. He just clocks Wolverine. You one-eyed son of a... I'll cut you wide open. No, you'll do nothing. Not now or ever, or you will answer to me. He walks alone. Now his mind torn by questions he can't answer, feelings he can't explain. His brother tried to kill him today, and he knows deep down that when next they meet, there'll be no holding back. Brother will kill brother. And the horror on that day will that they kill without ever knowing why. And they won't even be men. They'll merely be puppets dancing on a string. So Eric the Red mind zapped Polaris and Havoc. They attacked the X-Men, and now they're leaving. They don't know why. Next, the Sentinels return. Nuff said. We got Spider-Man wants you to try his web shooter. What's the well-dressed Spider fan should wear? I think I'll steal that. I had this. It was a little strap-on thing, and you push the button, and it fired a suction cup on a string. I loved it. Here, a hero. Spider-Man, Wolf, the Hulk, Man-Thing, Fantastic Four, Frankenstein, Captain America, the Falcon. Enjoy scintillating, power-packed audio adventures. Oh, okay. Peter Pan record comes with a captivating comic, so you can read along. Peter Pan records. Okay, come with the comic and a record. Spider-Man vitamins from Hudson, and I'll send you a free Spider-Man poster. So you get Spider-Man vitamins. Is this John Romita? That's John Romita's drawing, right? This too. And Evel Knievel. Oh my God, I love that ad. Oh my God, I love that. The Further Adventures of Evel Knievel. Evel Knievel Chopper. Oh man. I cannot stress how big Evel Knievel was around this point. Yeah, every kid on a bicycle. I don't know how many kids got broken bones trying to emulate Evel Knievel. He was super big. Super big. Oh wow. I forgot the okay, you proved your medal. I'm sorry for doubting you. Oh my God, I want food. Making the man flash his cheeses and confections. That tracks. Kidnapping Aunt May is a special kind of fetish. I know. Every supervillain, you get bitten by a radioactive chicken. The next thing you know, you kidnap an Aunt May. Remember when Hostess went bankrupt for a while? There was a fear Twinkies would be gone forever. Yes, I remember that. It's only 8 a.m. here. Where are you? It's 11 a.m. for me. Don't let women destroy your integrity. Cyclops ear covers are blue and not gold. Oh, I missed that. Yeah, they're colored blue over here. They're supposed to be gold. Yeah, you're right. They're blue in this issue. Yep. Good call. John, my uncle has shown me reruns of 50 shows called Leave It to Beaver. Yeah, I used to love Leave It to Beaver. Uh, with Todd Billingsley and Tony Dow. I could only kidnap current MCU Aunt May if you could call dinner and a movie kidnapping. Marissa Tomei. Capitalists shouldn't let that happen. Have breakfast cereal ads shown up in comics yet? Yeah, there's been breakfast cereal ads. I think. That looks like John Romita. Yeah, that's Romita. Joe Sinnott drew the Evel Knievel ads. Really? This is Joe Sinnott? Okay. I could see it now. I could see it in the face. I didn't know that. I never would have guessed that. So there you go. I'm done with the comics. So as always, I'll keep going as long as the comments keep going. I got nothing else to say unless you guys bring up anything. I really want to check this out again. I really like this. I want to share this image again. Check that out. That is just so nice. I keep looking at it. I can't believe I had that in my imagination, and now it's a page of art. So cool. So that's the opening page, and you know, I guess I can't point to it, but on the extreme right and on the extreme left are room for the captions. That looks so good. I could look at that all day long. Issues 98 to 100 versus Sentinels. That's a good 3-issue storyline. I remember getting those books off the spinner racks back in the day. Yep, I agree. We got eyeballs over here. Is the rest of the book going to be like that? You mean awesome? Awesome? Yes. The rest of the book is going to be awesome. Yes, it will be. Let's see. I'll show you this. This is one of the main characters. This is Agent Bree Cakes. So there you go. Look at that. So there's like I said, there's always agent handlers that show up with people with powers. And the CIA, the FBI, the whatever, they'll get you. So there you go. There's Agent Bree Cakes, one of the handlers for the sleeper agent. Do we have? And here is RJ from the Fourth Ages. He's one of the people that knows the background of this character, and he says this is RJ's favorite character of mine. This is Agent Augie Carmichael. So Augie Carmichael and Bree Cakes handle the sleeper agent in this issue, but Augie Carmichael takes the Raven under his wing later on. He becomes like the Jim Gordon to the Raven, but this will be his first appearance because oh no, it won't. His first appearance will be Heroic Tales number 3. Yeah, because this will come out probably issue 4 or 5. Augie Carmichael, trust his gut. It's so good. I now question my talent. Other people could be talented. That doesn't take anything away from you. Thunderbird was a strong guy, like classless and nasty like Wolverine, so he was picked it up. Yeah, they considered him redundant. Which is a shame. Which Fantastic Four do you want Marvel to adapt? I want to see Childhood Dead. That's a good one. I would like to see them go into the negative zone. I want to see them in the negative zone. Just total. Except the thing is, it'll be just CGI nonsense. But I would like to see the Fantastic Four go into the negative zone, and while they're in the negative zone, they find the real Reed Richards, not Pedro Pascal. My mom wants to watch the new Superman movie with me. I told her I heard mixed feelings. She says, watch and form your own opinion. I said, you always tell me not to waste my money. Yeah, my wife and I are going to go next Sunday. I think we're going to go to the 1:00 showing next Sunday. Government wants to micromanage super people. Yes, I as much as I talk about it's Bronze Age, I try to put like real world logic into the stories, as much as possible because it's superheroes. But like, I just can't believe that if superheroes really existed, our government would just like, yeah, go ahead, dress like Captain America and run around and fight criminals. And, like the government, like you can't even take a beer to the beach. You got to get a license and jump through 2 years of rigmarole to get a constitutionally guaranteed right to bear arms. And I'm supposed to believe that if you could shoot laser beams from your eyes, the government says, yeah, sure. So that's going to be something in my comic. The real Reed Richards. So having an agent do the paperwork and networking is not a terrible idea. Yes. So like the patriarch comes down and fights Mr. Mashed Potato in the middle of Science City. Mr. Mashed Potato wrecks cars and stuff like that. The patriarch fights him, and then the agents will go around and do all the paperwork and the clash action lawsuits and things like that. So that's one of the things that they get you with. They'll provide you with equipment. They'll provide you with a costume, medical care, dental, contacts, access to other superheroes if you need to team up and things like that. And then they'll have teams of lawyers to protect you from the lawsuits that will happen. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. And all they really ask is that you don't tell the public how you got your powers, because they don't want the public to replicate it, because they, it's literally nuclear weapons. And there's also problems with super powered beings that I'll be getting to in the comics in my world. Colossus was designed to be the star of the book, but like the Thing of the Fantastic Four, that's why his costume had primary colors, but it never worked out. Oh, I didn't know that. I always liked Colossus because I always liked the good Boy Scout, the wholesome good guy. Colossus is like I talked about it, I think 2 weeks ago, that, he was a farm boy, grew up on a farm. He strong and invulnerable, and he has red, blue, and yellow costume. He was Superman. He was Superman of the X-Men. I hate that logic in modern comic. Gun beds, but the power to destroy worlds is being who you are. Yep. Yeah. I love that. Like, a normal, regular guy goes to buy a gun. Liberals freak out. Oh, what's wrong with you? You got a small penis. You got a gun. But like a kid born with the ability to create a plague and destroy half of humanity, it's just who he is. Like, you know what I mean? Or Scott Summers. I could sneeze and kill a school bus full of children. Yeah, Colossus was born on a farm in the Soviet Union. Now I guess with the sliding scale, maybe it's not the USSR anymore, but he was born on a farm in Siberia. No wonder why I always gravitated towards the Thing. Yeah, I like the Thing. I got nothing else to show. I don't know what else to talk about. So I guess we'll call it an episode. All right. So next week we'll do 98. We'll do more X-Men. I think the Search for Galactus, the trial of Reed Richards. Yeah, you have to introduce Galactus first. So, that would be real interesting to see how modern progressives argue the existence of Galactus. All right. I'm going to shut it down. Thanks a lot, everybody. If you have any requests, put it in here. And I don't even know if I scheduled anything this week. Do I have anything scheduled? I'm looking at my calendar. I got Tim Olson on Thursday, and I'll be on Geek Talk next Friday at 7. So who do I have for Clobbering Time? Did we decide Clobbering Time? I know we did, and now I can't remember. Marcus, what did we decide for Clobbering Time? Oh man, I should have wrote it down at the time. Oh, Nexus versus Silver Surfer, and Mike Baron might show up. There we go. All right, so we'll see you. Since I don't have a lot scheduled, maybe I'll do like a, you know, a solo comic book or a point pitch black, meaning just anybody could come in and pitch a comic, things like that, promote things like that. We'll see. All right, here we go. Fund my comics. Maybe I'll do like a closeout stream, but that's in 2 weeks. So I'll try to get as many people as possible, and I'll see you. All right, bye bye everybody.